So welcome to module 1 of this course, where we are going to be looking at data types and variables. Now let's think of data types as a way to label our variables. You understand? So these are the data types that we have in Python. Now we have integers. Now integers, floats, strings, and booleans. Now we are only concerned with these four for this lesson. We are going to tackle the rest as we move on. Yes. But I just added it so that we know of them, that they exist, and then we'll know that they are there. So I'm going to delete this. You can take a moment, you can pause and read through if you are really interested. But we are going to move in this respect right here. All right, so integers, floats, strings, and booleans. IFSB, IFSB, IFSB. All right. Now integers are numbers without decimal points. So if I come here and I write 4, 4 is an integer, right? If I make it 45, 45 is still an integer. It's still satisfying the conditions. There are no decimal points. I can go ahead and make it 456, and it's still the same thing. It is an integer. It is still satisfying the conditions, right? Yes. Now we can deal with float. Understand? Now the next data type we have is a float. Yes. Now floats are numbers with decimal points. Floats are numbers with decimal points. So if I write 7, now 7 is an integer, right? But if I say 7.6, this now makes 7.6 a float. So this changes from the data type integer to the data type float. Understand? Now strings are just text, plain text. Yes. So now this is a string. The hello world that we have been writing, this is a string. So this is a string. And now we have booleans. Now a boolean is any expression that evaluates to true or false. So it's a question that evaluates to true or false. So for example, are you a student? It's either you're a student or you are not. Are you a boy? It's either you're a boy or you are not. So you're a boy will be true or what? False. So are you X? True or false? It's a yes or no response. So yes here equating to true, then no equating to false. Yes. So I'm just going to leave it at that. True. Let me write true over here. That's a boolean. This is a boolean. So a boolean can be either true or false. So now we have some data types. Now, in order to work with our data types, we have to do something very important. Right now, I don't know if you can see, we have all these error lines, not defined, and blah, blah, blah. A whole lot of errors, you understand? So what we have to do something with these our data types, right? Yes, now I'm going to highlight over our hello world again. As you can see, it says hello is not defined. And once again, our white spaces. So because of the white space, these have been separated. So hello is one word, and the world itself is another word, right? Yes. Now, in order to change the status of this to be defined, what we need is a variable. You understand? Yes. Now, this variable is going to store our data type. It's that simple. We are going to store our data in the variables. So think of our variables as a place to be storing our data. Yes. Now I'm going to create a new string data type right below this. So we see name is equal to, I don't like John, let's say Daniel, right? Daniel Smith. Sounds fun. Yes. Now what is the difference between this hello world over here and then this Daniel Smith over here? Now the difference is that this is a string. And now these are not separate words. It's just a sentence, or if you may, a sentence like that, because it's in between these quotes over here. You see. So I'm going to come back here and place these two in quotes, and it should be safe. Yes. Now, when you do this, you see, you can actually have your data types, and then without passing them to any variables. and you're actually not going to get any errors because it can be done. Like I said, if you watch the Tech from Zero series, like I said, you have to envision the computer as being really dumb in order to get somewhere with our programming. You understand? Yes. So it's just a tool. Programming is just a tool for us to do what we want to do. Yes. So now I'm going to create another variable. I'm going to be calling it age. Hell no, I'm not 30, but yes, I'm not about to tell you my age. So all right. So we can say our age is equal to 30. Yes. Now this is just an integer like this one over here. The only difference is that this has been passed to a variable. This has been stored inside our age variable. So now wherever we see age is 30, hence the equal to C. So if A is equal to B, A is B, so age is 30. So instead of writing 30 every time we want to work with our age, we can just write age. I hope that makes sense. Now what we want to do next is we'll say GPA. Now GPA comes in decimals, right? That's a different way we can represent our float, you see. Yeah, so now this is like a practical way in which you can use all this stuff you see programming. You can use our tools, our data types that we have. And then lastly, for a student, you can say true. You see, actually false or true. You true. So a student is equal to true. Like I said, it's either you're a student or you're not a student. All right. Yes. Now this over here, I think it's actually going to throw an error. I'm going to get rid of the line. Divide true by false. And we are going to do all the operations later. Yes. And now for some little confirmation. So it's not like I'm lying to you or something. Let's print let's print let's print let's print name, right? And then let's print age, let's print GPA, and let's print student. Yes, so we are going to be printing all of this. So I'm going to run over here. Yes, and as you can see, my name is Daniel Smith. My age is 30. My GPA is 3.5, and I am a student. You see our output to the console like that. Yes, which means whatever we did worked, right? Yes. Now we can do same over here, right? I'm going to print this, just this one. I want to do a little demonstration, right? Yes. Yes. So if you do that, you are going to print 4, 5, 6. You see? Yes. So like I said, this is not going to actually show you any error. You see? But instead of saying Daniel Smith, anytime we wanted, anytime we wanted my name, imagine I have one of those error names like very long like that. Are you going to type it every time? You see? So that's one advantage of variables themselves. Now, finally, I want us to check the types. We are going to print. Now, finally, let's print out the type. And again, you might find this useful as you program, that you may have to check some of these things. So, like this. All right. Yes. So let's print the type of everything. So that it's not like I'm lying to you or something. You see. And let's print a student, right? Like this. And let's get rid of all of this. Okay, so now we are good to go. So now we're going to check the type of all of these and we'll see if I lied to you or I didn't lie to you. Yes. So we can see that we have our string, that's our name is a string. And then our age is an integer. And then our GPA is a float because of the decimal, of course. And then our Boolean, like I said, evaluates true or false. So that's the expression. Now we can do something very fun again. Yes. So now we know that we perform mathematical operations on numbers, right? Yes. So if you do not want to perform mathematics on the number, maybe it's part of someone's name tag, maybe they are playing Squid Game or something. It's part of their identification. You don't want to perform mathematics with it. you can just simply come and then you cast. Yes, so because we do not want to perform mathematical functions with this, we are going to do something that we call a cast. You see, we are going to cast. Now let me explain the cast, right? You see, like just like the cast of a film or a movie, they are playing different roles. You see, they are not actually that. So Vin Diesel is not actually dumb in real life. If he tries all that nonsense he does with the car, he's going to die. You see, but yet still he gets to play that role for the setting of the movie. Yes, so now we are going to give this our 456 an identity to play. You see, so now we can say str and then we put it in the brackets again for scope. So everything in the brackets is going to be cast as a string. And now this is going to create its own data type, right? So if we do something like this, now we want to store it in a variable. You see, so we can see casted number. I'm going to call it that. Yes, I know, very creative, but yes, so we say casted number is equal to this. And then finally, we can come and print the type of our casted number. I'm going to comment some of these out so that we are going to see very clearly exactly what is going on. All right, so I'm going to hit run and hopefully we have no errors. Let me get rid of this string too. Yes, so we run and yes, so we can see that we successfully changed it from an integer into a string. Yes, so now that's how to cast also in Python, which you might find very useful in your journey. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for module 1. See you in the next one.